Leeds United's interest in a potential centre-back signing is continuing, with the club being linked to a very young, very promising centre-back that is currently playing in a league that you've probably never exactly thought of before, but he is an incredibly promising player, and it's going to look like an interesting position to see how we upgrade it compared to the way that we are obviously looking to improve our right wing / number 10 slot, maybe signing a striker, all that kind of stuff. This is a little bit of an interesting one to see the approach that we take. But before all that, just pop a like on the video for me. That'd be nice, and subscribe if you haven't yet. Apparently 51% of you haven't subscribed to the channel, which is a bit of a shame because I like it when the number goes up, I've got to be honest with you. It means basically nothing except goodness to my soul, and it's free for you to do, so just boop, there we go. Anyway, diving into it. Leeds United have been linked with a potential signing for Abubakar Sedi Kinte, who is a Norwegian top-flight centre-back that also plays for Gambia, which is Norway. You're probably looking at that and thinking, no way, I didn't think we'd sign someone from there. But he is currently playing for Tromsø and has played a significant role for them this season and last season. He's currently just 19 years of age, and in terms of his positioning, he is typically a left centre-back. Could be in a 3, could be in a 2. He's left-footed, which means that he sort of suits the profile that we look for when we're looking for a left-sided centre-back, whether that is in the 2 or the 3. Opens up that range of passing down the left-hand flank, which is absolutely wonderful, and always very, very happy with that. Now, Leeds have been reasonably linked with him. This information is from Football Norge, which is a Norwegian sort of international accumulator of news, but we'll see how it goes. He has also been linked with a move to FC Köln in Germany. The specifics on this are that Köln are understood to have reached an agreement to sign the player and remain keen to finalise the transfer. However, they're currently unable to complete the deal immediately as they need to generate funds through an important outgoing transfer before proceeding with the move, which therefore leaves the door open for a club such as Leeds United. That delay could provide Leeds with the opportunity to intervene. Leeds have been monitoring Kinte's process, and if Köln continue to postpone the completion of the transfer, the Yorkshire club may seek to take advantage by bringing him to the Premier League instead. Now, in terms of the amount of funds that we need to raise, Köln are very obviously doing their thing and sort of saying, we need a little bit of time to raise the money, so you might think it's a significant sum. It's really not. It's €6 million, which is something that I imagine a Premier League club could just sort of sneeze and bring up from their nostrils, I guess. I don't know. You know what I mean. It's relatively easily found in the Premier League when Leeds are expected to have a budget of approximately £120 million next summer. A couple of players might go out in order to make that the case, but it's looking like it's almost certainly going to happen. The financial resources that we have compared to Köln are ridiculous. There is a vast gap right there. And this is where it brings a sort of interesting question around the transfer strategy. Because we do have those massive resources, and the only question that remains is how we use them. And the specific way that we'd be using them in this case is sort of backfilling the squad. So you're looking at Pascal Struijk as your main left-sided centre-back, and he is fantastic, and he does that job incredibly well, very, very consistently, incredibly happy with him. If it comes to improving the squad, you have a choice of either sign someone to be effectively a deputy that you think has more potential than Pascal Struijk that could in the long term take over. That in this case would be Kinte, which fair enough, if he manages that would be absolutely fantastic, and £6 million for someone that can develop into a starting defender in the Premier League is a bargain. The alternative is what has been suggested for the more attacking positions at Leeds United at the moment, which is sign players that are already ready to be in that first team. Someone like a Harry Wilson who has consistent Premier League experience, decent bit of age behind them, so we know that they have played an extended amount of football for a very, very long time, and have proven quality, which is sort of the gap here. And I think whether or not we make this move will sort of tell what the plan is for different positions in terms of improvement, because for the likes of that attacking position, 100% we're looking to sign someone who will start in the immediate term. Daniel Farker will not have wanted to start Brendan Aronson for that many matches last season. I think the only reason that he did was his options other than Aronson were incredibly thin on the ground and didn't really offer him that many opportunities. When you look at the other positions, when you look at if we were to sign a left back, for example, you're probably looking at someone to deputise to Gabby Goodmanson because Goodmanson had an incredible season. So you've got someone who can sort of play that bit part role, a sort of 19 to 22-year-old who is still developing and improving and might get 10 appearances throughout the season, but would do so and ideally improve as that goes. And in the event that that doesn't work, you've still not spent too much and you've still got James Justin able to fill in on that flank. Same sort of applies for centre backs. We have a lot of centre backs at the minute. Admittedly, not many specialising in that left centre back role. That's ideally where Kinte comes in. So is that a case of you want to buy someone to immediately displace Pascal Struijk? Probably not, because what you get there is you get an unhappy Pascal Struijk because he will want to play as much football as he can. So I think the best thing to do is sign someone with a very, very high level of quality, which you get with Kinte, who, admittedly, the Norwegian Premier League isn't the highest quality of, it's not the most prestigious league, but you can still shine in there. There's a lot of potential in Norwegian football because they're very good at developing young players. So is it a case of we sign someone to, again, like as mentioned with the hypothetical left back, take over from Pascal Struijk for 5 to 15 appearances in the season and gradually grow into that starting role? I think that sort of thing is going to be the most efficient way of using the club's resources this summer. And it might not be the more exciting one. I've seen so many people say, I really hope we actually break our transfer record this summer because we didn't before, which I kind of understand, but if you're able to sign players of a decent level of quality without spending all of your money on them, surely that's something that you just do. That just makes a lot of sense, in my opinion. It's like when people have been saying that we need to sign Ousmane Diomande. Diomande is a ridiculously good footballer, don't get me wrong. But 50 million euros on a centre back when we've got that plus 70 million euros and we've got a fair few positions that maybe need a look at, I think that would be pushing it a little bit too much. So I think this backfill strategy is something that will work. And if we don't go for that approach, then fine. I'm not going to complain if we sign some ridiculously good footballers. But it's more, is that the safer approach? Which is a little bit of a question mark for me. But I guess we'll find out as the window goes on. Before I close up, just wanted to say wishing the best to Illan Meslier, who is leaving Leeds United. The retained list came out today. Meslier is leaving. Buonanotte, unsurprisingly, isn't returning to Elland Road. I know, I can't believe that myself. But I hope Meslier finds somewhere to regain that form that he had when he was at his best at Leeds United. When it comes to the other centre backs, apparently we've offered contracts to Cairns and Darlow. In my opinion, that'll be a case of if we get Darlow, then we probably sack Cairns off. If we don't get Darlow, we probably keep Cairns as that third option and maybe look for another first team goalkeeper. We're also apparently offering Sam Byram a contract, but that feels weird. That might be a sort of coaching thing. I don't know. But anyway, be interesting to see what happens. As always, this is just what I've been thinking. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'll do maybe a stream or something on England Costa Rica. Not tomorrow because it already is tomorrow. Today. And also maybe something watch alongy for the opening match of the World Cup. I'll definitely be over on Pick Up with Jer, but we'll find out all the other bits and bobs. We'll see. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed. I will see you later. And don't forget to subscribe because I'm aiming for 8,000 as soon as I can. Thank you. Ta-ra.